Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Coding Kaksha. So in this video I'm going to discuss about the going forward questions into the PySpark. So as you know, I have started a PySpark full course like from beginning till advance. So if you have not went through my previous video, go to this playlist. I have just given the playlist, and in this playlist I have given all the videos like from installing the PySpark, the data frames, like how we will combine the CSV file, what are the operations we could perform into the CSV file, and all the PySpark operation that could be asked into the interview. So in going forward video, right, or in this video, I am going to discuss I have one Excel file or CSV file, this Shark Tank. In this file, I have a detail of the Shark Tanks, like season 1, 2, 3, all the episodes, and all the seasons, like which startup have come to pitch into the Shark Tank and what industry that belongs to. And on top of that, I have prepared few questions like business case scenario question. Suppose like we have it data loading, like how we will load the data. So similarly I prepared 10 question, and today we are going to discuss those 10 question in practical way. So first question, right, our first question is like how do you load this provided CSV file, right? I have a Shark Tank India file. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code, and like I'll go and I'll open this new file. So we'll go into the Jupyter notebook for that, and it will detect our kernel. I'll select the kernel. So I have set up this kernel like in which I have installed the PySpark, and from above I'll just import this session code. So just I have imported this one, and I'll start session. So our first question, right? If you look into this, I'll just keep mark down. And the first question, how you will load the CSV file. So for that, let's highlight this thing and just select this. Now what we will do to answer this question, we will create DF Shark Tank or Shark Tank, right? We have to read this data frame or the file. So I'll just give a spark dot read dot option, and I'll give this header true. So like our header will be displayed. If you don't know like why I'm keeping this header true over here, you can go and watch our previous video. You will get to know. I have explained over there like why we are giving. And then CSB, right? We'll just give the location of path. So I just have this path. So I'll just use this path over here, and I'll just keep this, and we'll just so df dot. So okay. So if we'll show this earlier I have read, and now we have to see print this file like see. So we could read, right? We have season number, startup name, episode number, pitch number, season start date, season end date, original air date, episode title, then anchor. So this basically the file which over here is the replica there. We have read. Now what are the next transformation or question have been asked over here? Can you explain schema of the data frame after loading the CSV? So if you have already watched my previous video, you will learn about the schema. If not, then I'll just explain in uh, now, or like just see. If I'll give the print schema as of now, right? I have not defined any schema, and if I'll print the schema, each and everything will be shown as a string format, right? So giving the proper schema or to detect the proper schema, what we used to do, we used to pass the command option, and we just used to give in for schema schema, and we used to give this true. So based upon the data present into the file, it used to auto detect the schema. Or like what we can do, we can define our own a schema. Like suppose like season number, it's not in a string, it's in numeric format. So we can define by ourselves as well. But instead of doing that, if there will be large number of the column, we can give the infer schema, so it will auto detect that. So let's see, like see now it's automatically detecting, right? So season number is in integer format, it is detecting. Episode startup name is in a string format, so it is detecting that. So the first question, right? Second question, like, can you explain the schema after loading? What are the data type of the column, right? So we can say that like season number is in integer format, a startup name is in a string format. So particularly we got this second question as well. So we'll put this second question over there only. So we have did these two. Now like we have next question. Let's delete this one. Come into this. Let's put second question as well. And now let's go to the uh, third question. So we'll come over here, and before this, like, we will just give the markdown, so we'll get to know like which question we update. So it's a data exploration thing. Now what is it's saying, like, how would you display the first 10 record of the data frame, right? So simple, it's simple, right? It's not that much big, like we or anything, like just we have to put the filter thing. So just put df shark tank or 10 record, right? First 10, just give first 10, and we'll just try to display this. So dot so and n is equals to 5, or like we have to give the 10, right? So just pass 10. Oh, wise. So we can see, right, we are showing only top 10 record. There is multiple way we can use this limit as well. Instead of this, right, just use limit 10 dot, while reading this, dot limit 10. So we will get that limit 10 record only. So this way, like we can, so if you'll use n is equals to 10, right, it will give the top 10. But if you limit 10, it will just give the random series of the 10. So if you look into that data, right, if we have blue foods, then if you remove this limit and I'll show this top 10, then what we will get? So it is giving this top 10 rows, but earlier what it was giving the 10 record, randomly 10 record. So this is the difference between these two. Now like next question, right? What method would you use to get the summary of the data frame, including the count of record and the number of unique values in each column? So like for that, right, we have the many things. Let's suppose just come over here and just mark down, keep this, and we have df Shark Tank, just give this summary or the count, how many count are there. So just give equals to df Shark Tank dot count. What it will, we can see, right, like if we want to use that count directly, right, so instead of this one, this data frame having the sum value and I was doing the count, so it will not work over there. So what we have to do, if you want to know the count, just we have to type this, we will get the count. But if by parameterizing, if we want, then we have to print the value. So that's why I was getting the earlier error. Another thing, like if what it was asking, like summarize, let's, so what we will do, df Shark Tank, instead of that, just summarize. Okay. So for that, what we will use is equals to df Shark Tank dot describe. Now just, and let's print this. Print, or I think it will work display or so. I don't know. Like let's check. Okay, so instead of doing that, let's do the so, because it's printing into the array format. Might be like process. So you can see, right, we have the season number, which is like count. what the question is, what method would you use to get the summary of data frame? So I got the summary of data frame, like data frame including the count of record. So I got the count of record by this, right? Now what is the number of unique values in each column and the count? So for each column, right, we have a season number, so count of the each column is to four unique values. Then we have a mean, a standard deviation, then what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value. So for the numerical column, right, it will take the minimum value, what will be the numeric minimum. But in a startup name, it will take the first thing, first column and last column. So according to this, like for the string column, right, we can't calculate the mean or a standard deviation, so for that we are getting the null values. But in which, whatever like we are record, we are getting the integer number, we will get the mean median mode. So this is the this particular way, like while describe, this is the function. With the help of that, we can get the summary of each and every column present in our data frame. So this way, like we have handled these two questions. Now we have a data filtering, right? So we have a write a PySpark query to filter out all the startup that have yearly revenue greater than 10,000. So for that, right, let's handle this data filtering question. Earlier, like we have filtered the first 10. Now, but filtering this thing, we have to do the another approach. So for that, what we have to do, let's give this, come on to this df dot shark tank top 10k, just keep 10k is equals to df shark tank dot, we have to use the filter, then we have to use call, then we have to give this, and we have to give the yearly revenue. So we have to find the column yearly revenue. We have column, what's the name of the yearly revenue column? So we have the yearly revenue over here, so just we have to basically use this only, so no need to, we have a yearly revenue column over here. Now it is greater than 10,000, so 110. Okay, so let's we have to, for this, like we have to import the call function as well. So we will just type from PySpark dot SQL dot functions import call. So like if we'll print df shark tank dot, so so there is no any values as such values, right? So just click keep yearly revenue, just keep this 100, because there is no any value. So see, we are getting this, now I'll just keep the 1,000 and we'll check. So we are getting multiple values for the 1,000 as well, 10,000. Okay, so we are getting one values as a 10,000. So like we could see, right, this way we can use the filter statement if we have to filter any of the record. Now let's move into the next question. What's the question? How would you find all the startup that received an investment from a specific SAC? Suppose N- Namita. So how we will find this thing? Okay. So just go over here and just type this thing, markdown, and just give the specific sock name. I'll just use Namita or anything. So like just for this purpose, right? Let's see. We will go over here. We will choose this thing. DF got fund. Okay. Fund. We'll use the column specific sock name. So for that, like we have a column called Namita investment. So just we will put this Namita. Okay, we'll put this, or let's check any column, more column we have. No, right? So we'll just give here Namita investment is not null. Now just print this one. dot so. So we can see these many startup, these number of the startup are getting the fund from Namita. If we'll go over here, right? So we can see yearly revenue, pitches state from where they are pitching and all those things. Now we will come over here, right? Where is that? Yeah. So this Namita investment amount, right? You can check we are getting all the values, like we are not getting any null values, so that she have not invested into that. So it's part of like debt investment, equity investment is parts of the another question. You can put the filter in, you can check that out. So now what we have, aggregation and grouping, another thing. So like how would you calculate the average monthly sale for each industry? Okay, so this is the another question. Like we have a industry, suppose. So let's come over here and put this first, then we'll. So let's go to this. Huh, okay. So we have food industry, beauty fashion, then education industry, then manufacturing industry. There are multiple industry, right? And we have to find according to that industry what we have to find the average monthly sales for each industry. So these things, right? This particular question, like just average sales. Okay, we have to find with the multiple ways. We can use the SQL statement as well, but like while you will sit into the interview, right, we can import the SQL or we can define the SQL statement and we can directly run that. So that's a different thing. But if you'll sit into the interview, you have to do through the data frame, and that thing we will see. So what we will do, we will use the group by, group group by. And in the group by, what we will do, we will use the column industry, right? Because we have to do the aggregation over the industry. We have to find the particular industry value. So we group by, we have to put AGG, and then like we have to use F dot. So we have to import the function as well. So what I'll do, import PySpark dot SQL dot functions as F, and we will use this F dot AVG. And what we have to find, like we have to find average monthly salary for each industry. So let's go above and let's check this. Where is pitches average monthly? Pitches average is yearly revenue, monthly sales. So we have to find the monthly average sales. So let's right, average monthly sales. So just put this and we'll try to this check we are getting or not. So just go to the average sales dot so. And now, right, we can look, we can getting it this for the service industry, we are getting the average sale. Oh, so there will be a question, right? There might be like you are getting wrong average, like uh, how we will verify that average is correct or not? So what we will do, we will uh, calculate, we will summarize all these things. Like we will do the sum of uh, values of the average. So just do the group by and do the sum or do the count, how many records are there, and then sum total number of record. And if you'll divide both, we will get this monthly average sales. So this way you can verify that. Now, like next question, right? Try to pass count the number of a startup that had received offer and group them by the state of the pitches. So just take this one. Like this is little bit tricky. So Puto. Now what we have to do, we have to write a query to count the number of startup that's received offer. Okay, so just give this offer OFR. Then just give this df dot tank dot filter. Then we use call, and in the column pass the value. What is the value for received offer? There will be any column. We have to look like any number of stocks deal valuation, yeah, accepted offer or received offer. So we have a received offer. we'll just use the one value. If one, then they have received the offer. If not one, then they have not received the offer. So just put over here equals to 1. Okay, so df leave it average offer. We have to remove this average offer. Okay, so now dot o double f a. Okay, so we can see, right, these are the means list of the startup which have got the offer. Like you can check, like they are all the values received offer, right? They are one. Like accepted offer, like it's up depend upon one. They, if their criteria have not matched or their ask has been not matched, then they don't accept the offer. That's a different thing. Like, but got the offer, we have over here. Now another thing, like another question in this, what is the another question that received offer and group them by the state of the picture. So we have to count the number of the startup. Now we have this filter, right? Now what we have to do? State, just give the stat. Now what we will do, instead of using this data frame, I'll use this data frame because we have the all filters detail which are present in this. Then we will do the group by, and we will use this thing call. Okay, what column we will use in this grouping? State. So pitches state, right? So we will go into this and we will check the pitches state. Is there any column? Okay, pitches average age is there. Now let's go there. Company, number of presenter, female. Okay, pitches average age, pitches city, pitches state. Now let's go to this state and just copy this column, paste it over here. So we will get now dot count, or we will give this agg and f dot count, or it will not work in this. So just we have to give the count. Okay, so call. Okay, we have to pass in this agg f dot count call. Df Shark Tank offer state dot so. So if you look over here, Karnataka. So from Karnataka, there are 34 people have got the offer. From Odisha, one people got. So like that, we can check. Like these many startup have got offer. So like just this count thing we have to look.